Hi guys, my name is Josh Bright. I studied at Queen Mary University. I got a first class in Maths and Business Management and Finance. Then I also did a Masters in Banking and Finance. I currently work at Lloyds Banking Group within their Acquisition Finance Department, where we essentially aid companies in raising debt financing for them to assist them in buying other companies. So I've been doing this now for about 4 months, and I also run Capital Moments on the side.
My name is Lex. I currently work at KPMG. I studied at the University of Birmingham, did economics. Currently at KPMG, I'm a consultant working in their risk advisory area. So we kind of assist our clients with regards to any operational, reputational risk they may face. On the side as well, I also co-run Capital Moments, and we've helped build it from a fledgling business to a dominant social enterprise. I met Josh whilst interning at Goldman Sachs. At the time, I actually used to blog about economics, finance and business separately on my own kind of independent blog called Economics. Josh did something similar with regards to careers, personal development and kind of other different topic areas. And a mutual friend of ours, Demi, he actually came about, produced his own blog, more on the line of personal finance. And then when that came about, Josh actually came with the idea for us all to operate under one umbrella, one platform, so it'd be easier for us to reach the masses. We're kind of centered on improving the personal development of young people, whether they be students, graduates or young professionals, and ultimately improving their commercial awareness. Them kind of understanding more about what's going on in the world around them.
You can kind of describe us with one kind of sentence. We're trying to provide everything you find out about at 25 that you wish you knew about at 16, 17 or 18. Just with regards to just learning what's happening in the markets, to how to improve your savings, what is an ISA for example, a wide range of topics that impact us in ways that we probably don't appreciate earlier on in our lives or our careers, but as we get older we start to see the benefits of understanding these information, just to give us a competitive advantage against our peers, but then also to provide us with a platform to do as well as we can in our later stages.
So I came up with a name, Capital Moments. I kind of had a play spin on Financial Times. So if you can think of capital where it is, you can have economic capital, financial capital, emotional capital, you can have any different type of capital, and you're meant to kind of illustrate that to what moment in your life have you had those particular or use those bigger types of capital. So moment is a placement on time again. So throughout your life, you probably have a capital moment where something important has happened. When we first actually started, we actually went around the city and we asked different types of people what their capital moment in life is. So for some people it might be getting married, for some people it might be getting their first mortgage or going on their first holiday. It's meant to be something important to you that's kind of led to your own personal development in life, and ultimately that's what a capital moment to me is also. So I could say a capital moment for me was possibly getting my degree.
Like you say, capital moments means so much to different people. You can even tell by different topics that we cover on the site: politics, personal finance, business, economics, sport, fashion. Like you're never going to find someone that's interested in everything. Everyone's going to have their own niches which they feel applies to them more. Capital moment, my capital moment could be, like Lex said, going to university, but then it could also be buying my first share, which was probably a Tesco share, which I probably regret now. I think being an entrepreneur gives you a different sense of responsibility. Primarily when you work for a company or work for someone else's company, you never have full responsibility as to the direction or the strategy or how far that company is going to grow. You are only a kind of a small fish in a big pond essentially. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur, you kind of have full responsibility, you have full control over where you can take your business to, how you want it to diversify, where you want it to go, etc., etc. So that responsibility is something that I enjoy.
Just to build on that again, yes, it's having a responsibility. So when you do kind of come into the corporate world, you're not given as much responsibility as you may expect to, but having that responsibility on the side, running your own enterprise, it gives you that. And also apart from that, you're actually giving back as well. So ours is more of what I could say a social enterprise. So when you actually know you're giving back to the development of young people and giving them more opportunity, you really do feel it, and that does kind of stem into the passion.
think one thing I miss about being in education, than being in the working environment is the kind of the constant, how can I put it, the constant willingness to learn. And that's probably a kind of a difficult concept to kind of understand, but obviously you learn in the workplace, don't get me wrong, you learn every day, but then the kind of the taking that extra step to maybe do an extra exam. If you're not under pressure to, or if you don't have to, you can kind of sometimes just get comfortable, and that's very dangerous, especially when you're working in banking, for example, because there are always going to be 300, 400 people that could take your position. You're probably more qualified than you. So that's one thing I would definitely say for anyone looking to get into banking is always look for ways to improve yourself outside of the workplace with extracurricular exams, for example. So like CFA, ACA, IMC, those kind of exams.
Also kind of grabbing the opportunities. So I think coming from university, they don't really teach you about networking when you first start work and the importance of it. So obviously it's great, you want to be good at your job, you want everyone to know you know your stuff inside out, but the way to kind of raise your career through the ranks is actually being good at networking, understanding who's the manager, who's the kind of director in this area, understand if that's something that interests you, how will you be able to get in there and network them effectively, and kind of just push your career forward. So networking is another big thing I'd say a lot of people kind of have a mission of.
I want to talk the Help to Buy scheme. We all know about it. It'll probably be good if you could just explain what it is to start. Tell me what you guys think of it. Do you plan to get involved at any point? Josh, do you want to start?
Let's kick this one off. He's the property expert.
So the Help to Buy scheme is kind of free strategy at the moment. So there's the equity loan. So the Help to Buy equity loan is whereby you can get a loan from the government as a percentage of the property you're about to buy. So it can be anywhere between, I believe, 20 to 40% in London. And basically that means the government has equity in your house. So if you was to ever sell your house, they'll have an equal value of whatever equity they have in a house or property. The other strand you can get is just a natural loan. So the government can give you a loan to help you deposit. So say for example, I wanted to buy a property, 200k, only had 5% worth, so 10k worth of the property. I could go to the government and ask them for a further 30k to make up for the rest of the 20% deposit. Another new thing which is very interesting is the Help to Buy ISA. So the Help to Buy ISA is really kind of going to change the market, I believe. So basically the government are going to contribute to any ISAs you have and help towards your borrowing for the deposit of your first home. So at present, how it works out, I think you put a maximum of £200 per month, and you can start off by putting a maximum of 1,600 and then contribute £200 per month from that. And the government will put in, I think it's a minimum of 100 or £200 per month, and then over the 3 years, you can contribute a maximum of 12k, and the government in return will put a maximum of 3k. But imagine that's just basically 3k extra that goes towards your deposit, which is very beneficial for a lot of people.
So what's the catch? Is there one?
The catch at the moment, obviously I think the biggest catch with the equity loan is the government has kind of an investment in your house. So if your house goes up, say 30, 40, 50%, it might look good, you're screaming, you're telling your mom, yeah, I'm going to be able to buy this house for you in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, you still got to give some money back to the government in comparison to the equity.
It's an interesting one because if you look at the London market, you've kind of just got, or you look at the UK market as a whole, you've kind of got London in its own bubble, and then you've got everywhere else. And if you look at buying in London, for our generation, it's probably not, we'll say, one, it's not realistic, and two, it's probably not wise as well, because with the London market, you've kind of got a London premium, where you're not buying the value of the home, you're buying the value of living in London. So there's a slight difference. Whereas if you look at even, I was looking at some research, some property research the other day, and the cheapest house you can get in London now is about 300k, and that's in Dagenham. And Dagenham is on 6 as well. So let's say you worked in London, which is about, or in central London, which is about an hour and a bit away, you still got a 300k mortgage, or LTV 240, however much you put down, and so on and so forth. So it's not cheap. But at the same time, a scheme like this would aid, but as Lex mentioned already, you need more supply. The government has already seen that problem, that we just don't have enough houses being built every year. I think the number should be around 300,000 on average to keep up with the current demand. And if you have another scheme like the Help to Buy in place, where you potentially give access to more buyers domestically, forgetting your foreign investment already, so like your Chinese, your guys from the UAE, your guys from Russia who are looking for kind of safe yielding investments, then you've already got a problem there and you've already got mispricing. Do I think, and this is one question that I've always got asked, do I think that the bubble is going to burst? Probably not. I think you'll probably just see a correction in prices, so you probably might not see growth. You might just see kind of just like a steady kind of flat 0% growth over a number of years. But even for that to happen, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
So is the Help to Buy just for new builds? I thought you could use it on any house.
So the Help to Buy equity loan scheme is only for new builds. The Help to Buy actual just loan into your property is for any type of property.
Yeah.
The Help to Buy ISA is for anything. One of the key things we are planning to do is actually launch a book. We've been working on a book, a kind of Capital Moments guide to say for graduates and internships. So basically instructing the process and procedure you need to go through to kind of apply to a firm, successfully get a graduate job or an internship at a firm, and how to kind of go through that stage into the early years of your career as a young professional. So really understand how to network effectively, how to do your work effectively, and how to really get a strong platform.
It's always good to hear from people that have gone through it, that are around the same age as you, rather than hearing from like a senior level person, because ultimately the way we network is different, right? Back then they probably didn't have stuff like LinkedIn, Facebook, which are networking tools as well if used correctly. And that's what the book is there for. The book is not a this is how you do it and this is how you're gonna get the job. This is more a guideline. Use this alongside your own common sense to help you succeed in your internship or your work placement.
Just a journey we've built through from a kind of start of formation, just a concept, and now it actually being a brand. So seeing that transformation has just been a great story, a journey. Josh has got a very interesting story to tell us. Success.
Thanks, mate. I think Capital Moments as well. Well, a few things actually, to be fair. Some of you may know I sat my first GCSE at 5, so that was quite an interesting achievement for me. Passing it as well. I can't remember what now, but passing it as well. That was decent. Going to uni early as well, starting at 15, finishing at 17. That was good. Getting a job at a top investment bank, that's quite a decent achievement for me. Capital Moments, starting my own company and having something that I can see grow is another fantastic achievement. So that should hopefully be coming out sometime next year.
So you started writing?
Yes.
We're in the final stages, but we'll keep that under wraps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
And so, having our viewers watch this video, if they wanted to maybe find out more about Capital Moments, how can they get in contact with you and actually keep track of what progress you're sort of making along the lines?
I think first www.capital-moments.com. Subscribe. You'll get kept informed with everything, newsletters, etc., and the new posts that we've got. That's probably the main way. The Twitter page as well, Capital Moments, very easy. The LinkedIn page, Capital Moments. If you've got any specific queries, like if you're interested in blogging or if you're interested in finding out more about a specific article and so on and so forth, email info@capital-moments.com. Am I mistaken?
Pretty much summed up. So we do have an Instagram page that you could visit at Capital Moments as well. But I'd say the most easiest and popular way to find us is the website or Twitter. But whenever there's kind of a significant moment, as you could say, significant capital moment in the news, visit us. So thanks for interviewing us and thanks
Thank you
for watching. Hopefully we'll be Seeing you soon.